Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you. Another offering. Off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks. Sampler video series videos I've been doing for a little while now. Go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. This one does feel a bit appropriate for me. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's a super simple format. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. And whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm wearing grody work clothes. Typically, when I'm inside the truck and I'm wearing grody work clothes, that means I was on my way home from work and I found some shit to review for you. And boy, oh boy, is that the case today. And boy, oh boy, do I hope that this is helpful. Because, folks, what am I reviewing? What are we doing here? Why is it appropriate to me? And why do I hope that it's helpful? Because, folks, I went over there and I'm reviewing, boom, from Celsius Energy. This is their brand new retro vibe flavor, which is their Sparkling Sherbet Slush Edition. Sparkling Sherbet Slush Edition. Slush Edition. Yeah, they just announced this one and another one called Playa Vibe. I have yet to find the Playa Vibe, but I'll be honest with you, I'm definitely way more retro than I am Playa. I'm not a Playa at all, but retro, yeah, I hit retro. And, yeah, man, I mean, I've reviewed some of the Celsius stuff before, and, boy, oh boy, could I use it today. I just got through pulling 12 hours at work. Like, I'm done on a bun, son. It's zero sugar, gluten-free, kosher, non-GMO, no high fructose corn syrup, no aspartame, no artificial colors, all that good stuff. So what are you flavored with? Sucralose. Yep, sucralose. So, okay. Anyway, let's get a thing for the thing. It's all fancy looking. Look at it be fancy. Ha 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 ha! Oh, when I'm sleep deprived, I'm wacky. Let's get the thing open. Open! Open, 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 open. Okay. All right. That's not bad. Pros and cons, but that's not bad overall. I like Celsius, and like I've tried out like their various vibe flavors. I've reviewed them on the channel. You can go look for those if you're interested, like Galaxy and Cosmic and all that shit. And I do appreciate that like they've come out with these like, sort of quasi wacky flavors, that are a little bit less conducive to identification as some of their other flavors might be. I forget, one of them was like marshmallow flavored or some shit. I remember that one being a thing. Some of them are a little bit more kind of, not as interesting. This one, yeah, okay. I'd put it kind of middle. It's nothing crazy, but like, it's definitely got a vibe. Sparkling sherbet. Yeah, it's definitely got a sherbet flavor to it. And actually, I mean, I'm a big fan of sherbet. I don't really, partake that often these days, but for quite a long time as a kid, like rainbow sherbet ice cream was one of my favorites. I love pineapple sherbet because, well, it's pineapple. I'm a pineapple slut. So like I said, it's not something I engage with a lot as an adult, but I definitely still enjoy it, and it's a nice kind of, certain flavor vibe to it, and yeah. And I get the slush part, I get kind of, because it's kind of where it tapers off. Because there's like a nice sort of sherbety, because like you think sherbet, and sherbet already has kind of a bit of a fizzy aspect to it. And, so that ties in with the sparkling, but it's carbonation, really. But you do get that sherbety kind of taste. And then instead of it sort of like maintaining that hit of sherbet, it kind of trickles off a little bit. And that's kind of where I'm getting more the slush thing. Because if you think, like, if you're drinking a slushy, right? And I love slush stuff. I love frozen drinks. Like, if I want a shit ton of money, right? Like, if just somebody dropped a whole bunch of money in my lap, like, to the point where I didn't have to work anymore, I wouldn't do too many crazy-ass things. Like, because really, I'm not a crazy-ass person, you know? Like, pretty much do what I do now. I just do it a lot more and just, you know, at my own leisure. Instead of having to deal with work. But like one of the things I would do is I would definitely get like an icy or a slushy machine or something like in my house or in my garage or something. Because God, do I love it. I love a slushy. I love an icy. But when you think about when you drink it, you know, you get like a stronger hit of it at first and then it kind of trickles off a little bit. That's kind of what I'm getting from this. So I've got that sort of sherbety vibe and then, you know, so, but it's nice. It's sweet. A little bit tart, not crazy, but, and Celsius typically do a pretty good job with their zero sugar stuff of kind of masking that zero sugar flavor, because at the end of the day, yeah, you can zero sugar it all you want. Sucralose still has a flavor. It's still its own thing. And one of the go-tos for energy drinks especially is to make their stuff really tart to hide that. There's a little bit of that here. And you do get a little bit of that sucralose, but it's not too bad. Again, I would say Celsius, I think, are one of the better ones. And, you know, especially with this being a new flavor, I would imagine, you know, they want to put their best foot forward, and I think they've done a pretty good job with it. It's a little bit fizzy, a little bit tangy. It's got that sherbety vibe. I can see what they're going for with it. And at the end of the day, I mean, you know, personally, I'd probably prefer a full sugar version, but I also understand, like, that's not Celsius's thing, you know, so I'm not going to, you know, crap on them for that. That's just my personal preference. I would like to see Celsius do just a full sugar line. That'd be cool. I mean, for me, probably not for their core customer base, but no, I do actually enjoy that. That's pretty good. I wouldn't say it's anything holy shit amazing, but, like, it's giving me the flavors it's supposed to be giving me, and they're presented in a, you know, palatable way. And yeah, I mean, there's really nothing to dislike about that. But 3 questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? Is it retro? Sure, and I don't really think so. I mean, for me personally, I do like it overall. I would say, again, it's not anything that's really, like, I was kind of hoping for maybe something a little bit more impressive, but, like, I don't have anything against it. It just didn't wow me the way I was hoping, you know, but, like, it's like a solid, like, B- to a B, you know, like, it's hovering in that area, but it's still good. And while I have been more impressed with some of the Celsius flavors in the past, like I said, I think this one's a solid one, and it's doing everything that it says on the can. So, like, you know, I'm not going to complain about that. The retro aspect of it, I mean, obviously, you know, it's a namesake for namesake's sake. But, I don't know, man. I wish, like, if they were calling it retro, I mean, I guess maybe the sherbet thing is supposed to be, I don't know, you know? For me personally, there's nothing that feels retro about it. You know, none of those flavors are what I would consider. I mean, I guess they're, you know, more childhood flavors, sort of. But I don't know. I don't really, it didn't harken back, you know, didn't evoke any retro memories for me. Now, if it tasted like an original Nintendo, now there we go. That would be proper retro. Okay, I'm talking the NES. Not the bullshit people, oh, the N64 is a Nintendo. I had a kid say that to me once. I nearly suplexed him. And that was when I was in my 20s, so I could have done it. If I'm recommending it, though, I could maybe do it now. I'd only be able to do it once, though. Then I'd be done. Forever. If I'm recommending it, though, sure. I think that, you know, look, if you already enjoy the Celsius stuff, there's no reason not to. It's a good flavor. Again, not my personal favorite, but I could see people, you know, I could see it being a favorite flavor of somebody. I think the execution's nice, and, you know, if you're more of a conventional energy drinker, I still think there's merit in this because, you know, it's a good tasting mostly solid, zero sugar energy drink that has an interesting flavor that I personally haven't had in any other energy drink. And there is something to be said for that. So, again, while I don't think it's anything holy shit amazing, credit where it's due. It's pretty good. Not as good as the original Nintendo, but what is? Super Nintendo's better. Genesis, original PlayStation, Dreamcast. Anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year. Folks, over there, so truly PlayStation-tastic rest of your life. Because, fuck it. PlayStation kicked the shit out of Nintendo. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But, what you do can't do it all the time. I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Now, folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives. Hopefully, do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, what's retro to you? When I look at my analytics, my age range tends to be around my age range, so I would imagine it's probably around the same stuff that I do. But like I said, it freaks me out to think that, I'm old enough at this point, that there's kids who, their first video game system was probably the Switch, and they're probably almost quasi, not adults obviously, but that messes with my head so much. Getting older is weird, man. It's one of those things, you think it's going to hit you in certain ways, and some of it does, but then it's the subtle shit that tends to get you. I recently found out that my second elementary school, the one that I most associate with, is no longer an elementary school. After 96 years of being an elementary school, now it's some fucking extended learning center or something like that. Boy, oh boy, did that fuck with my brain. Anyway, bye.